Hi, and welcome back to Rugged Mountain Homestead. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Dean.
And today we have an extra special treat. We have Dean's brother and my brother by marriage, Kris, here visiting us from the Pacific Northwest.
Try not to get attacked by the dog.
Yeah, try not to get attacked by the dog.
No.
So,
come on, buddy.
Might be tough.
Stay down.
We're outside today. I'm getting ready to take a stroll down to the garden and see what's new there and what's changed for the better, for the worse. And Kris and Dean are going off
On a little tour,
an excursion on the property. Yeah, so they'll probably end up back down to the garden, but let's go take a walk. So I'm a bit concerned today, as you can probably hear. It's pretty windy right now. And we've gotten notice of severe weather. And normally I would think that to be rain, or like, some sort of storm. But it's an advisory that our winds are up today, up to 45 miles per hour, and the humidity is low. With this time of year, it being warm, it puts you in danger of wildfires. In addition, I'm a little concerned about the wind on the plants. So I wanted to come down here and check everything out, make sure everyone's doing well, and see what changes we have here. And again, I'm sorry about the background noise, but this is nature, nothing I can help. So I can definitely see some growth here. Cucumbers and some beans. These are getting their first true leaves here. I'm real excited to see all these up. I'm growing 2 different varieties of beans, 2 of 4 that I've never grown before. And so I'm anxious to see them because they're supposed to be really pretty in appearance besides being food for us. Now, I will be the first to admit that some things in here I am not 100% sure on anymore. After we had the big hailstorm and things just got kind of crazy, when I did replant some things, I had everything marked when they had come from underneath the grow lights and were in, but I was just so anxious to get them in the ground to replace what had been destroyed, that I didn't tag it in the ground. So, hey, we'll just see what comes up. I'll be happy because it's all food and it's all varieties that I wanted to grow, and I'll be able to identify them better once we start seeing some fruit on the vine. It's mostly the tomatoes. But I have 3 cucumber plants over here as well, and we're going to get a trellis built onto the other side to go up and then to the each side, and then the beans can grow underneath. The strawberries are looking healthy. As you can see, the wind is blowing. The oregano is looking nice. And it's even starting to spread. I was so excited to see that. I'm hoping that by next year, this whole area from right here almost down to the trellis will be nothing but oregano. Oh, and look here. We have a squash baby. I'm so excited to see that. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm leaving it be. And another squash baby. And this one is actually getting has gotten its first true leaf. So I'm anxious and happy to see that. I'm excited to see that. Now, look at the yarrow. This has truly amazed me, because when I brought it out, and even when I grew it in a different climate, all of its leaves looked like this. It would grow really tall and have these, I don't even know what to call them, these type of leaves. Well, now that they're losing these leaves and they're growing these new ones, they're gorgeous, really deep green, but they look more like a fern. And I have never seen yarrow do that, but it's so pretty. I'm really happy and excited to see how, all the plants are doing that. Some of the peppers are still looking a little sad. Some of them are doing okay. Tomatoes are beefing up. The stalk is getting thicker. I'm just really happy to see that after everything that they've been through. This was the real little one. It's still little, but this was the one that was just kind of flopped on the ground. And it's getting there. All my tomatoes and peppers. Now, I did go ahead and order some basil from Azure Standard. I have just a couple basil seeds in here, but it's just really tiny, and they were having a sale, I guess because it's getting towards the end of them doing their starts or selling their starts. I'm not sure what, but I did buy some basil, and it's looking really nice. And it's also a really good companion plant for the tomatoes. So here's one of the basil plants that I got from Azure. This is a sweet basil plant, and this is basically what people use, you know, in sauces, on pizza, and to make pesto. The tomatoes really seem to be coming along. I'm just really excited by the garden right now. Anytime I see new growth, I find it exciting, and especially when I see seed babies starting to come up. Now this little mini bell, this was one of the plants that just produced so well for me before. The squirrels beat me to it, but it's still so tiny, but it's very thick, feels very robust. So of course they grow in their time, not mine. Some new growth on this pepper. I mean, look at this. This is an okra baby. I think they'll grow pretty rapidly, but it's just a tiny, it's a little seedling. They always make me so happy. And then we have another over here. I always plant 2 seeds just in case one doesn't germinate. And here's where I run into the problem, because I have a hard time pulling one of them. They're supposed to have much more space between the 2, so I will, with okra especially, have to pull out one of these. I'll wait a little bit to see which one's, you know, growing the best, and pull the other one. Sometimes I guess I could maybe try, let it get big enough that I could transplant it somewhere else in here. The celery's making a strong comeback. Again, this one has yarrow in it. This one has a little bit of yarrow in it too, but look at the beautiful growth at the bottom. That is nice and green. That feels much more sturdy. I will still be able to cut off the tops of these and use them, but it is just really nice. The bottom's coming along. You can see the yarrow there as well. Very nice. I'm so happy to see the lettuce. It's, you know, it's still, you know, kind of small, but it's really growing rapidly. My calendula is starting to like form its flower down at the very bottom. The Merlot lettuce. It's my first time growing Merlot lettuce. I saw someone else grow it, and it was just so beautiful. I wanted to grow it for that reason alone, but it actually, I've taken a little snip of it, you know, and tasted, and it's really good. It's a nice, has a nice flavor to it. And of course, the spinner is going crazy. That's probably what you hear. That's probably what you hear in the background. And that is the spinner that I found the day of devastation. And actually, this globe right here, it is solar. And then at night, it actually changes colors. It's really neat. I think it probably helps with anything looking at my garden, any animals. All right, this, yeah, there we go. This is kind of hard. I gotta stay All right, so we have more Merlot lettuce here. This ended up being a mixture. Not sure how this happened, but it's great. They're looking better. They're looking much healthier. See, much better growth down at the bottom. So that's okay. Ooh! Another little okra. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you. It is bright out here today.
I got a kit for a greenhouse.
Now this one's still looking kind of thin and spindly. I'm going to let it go because the green really looks nice up top, but I do, it feels like it's starting to thicken up at the bottom, but this was one of my replacements. This is another Amish paste. It's still, like I said in a previous video, these seem to be pretty sensitive.
That's what I got to do for the new shed when that comes. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, right here you're looking north in the middle of the square.
More basil. Another tomato. It's got a lot of new growth on it. This was a replacement as well. It might have to get it replaced itself. This is a Berkeley pink tie-dye, and I took off some, but we'll see, especially with the winds picking up today. These are peppers, looking nice. I'm just so happy to see the tomatoes building their stalks, all this deep green new growth. It just makes me so happy. And you rub your hands on the top of a tomato plant, it smells so good. See the difference? It is so bright out here today. I'm having a really hard time being able to keep myself and the camera shadow off of the plants. Now I did go ahead, these are looking so bad. I mean, this is going to get pulled probably tonight. I did plant another pepper right next to it, because knowing that it's going to be replaced, but was just holding out a little bit of hope at the same time. Oh, look! Another squash! Oh, I'm so excited.
There were several trees here. I took them out. We chipped it away here. You thought about livestock. Chickens only.
Nasturtium. They're pretty. The nasturtium is a vining plant, and so it'll grow up. It can actually grow pretty, you know, nice and not super tall, but tall enough. And that what I'm hoping is that they spread, and that this could spread over to here. They're a vining plant. I would love to see it at one point, you know, vine over. I know it's not going to be this year, but I'm looking forward to that. And then there's two more little nasturtiums. There's two more little nasturtiums right there. They look nice. My strawberries hanging in strong. And I have some new little seedlings here. I don't know what they are. I'm guessing they're marigolds. I really am, because I remember having some out here. And this is another nasturtium. I can always tell them because of the shape of that leaf. And then back down to the cucumbers. The third bed is underway. It is another 5x40 bed. We do have the cardboard down. And of course, as you see, we have a lot of the large wood pieces. They're not really distributed real well just yet. But as I've said before, I'm not really in a major hurry to get it going. I want to get it going. I'll probably, just plant things, maybe, depending on when it gets going, that could withstand a light frost. I don't know when we'll get our frost this year, but they always start looking for it toward the end of September around here. Last year, people got really lucky and we didn't get our first frost until sometime later in October. But this is definitely my happy place. Besides the kitchen, this is definitely my happy place. I feel very blessed to have it. This is the garden of my dreams. And so just taking it one day at a time, learning something new every day. Now I did not get my sunflower field planted this year. I did get about 8 different types of sunflowers planted. And I saw, was it yesterday, last night? I swore I saw a sunflower seedling. Yes, I did. It's tiny, but it's gonna grow. But I also feel extremely blessed because I looked out here one morning. I was out here having my coffee, just, enjoying the weather, the garden, the life that we have. And I didn't, like I said, get my sunflower field planted. It's just been crazy with things to do. But I've noticed that a lot of natural wild sunflowers is actually coming up in the area that I had planned to plant my sunflower field. So while I've said before, Mother Nature doesn't like to be naked, and I'm so happy to see things coming up, although I know this looks pretty barren to a lot of people, but we're just getting reestablished. We're getting established here, and these grounds are getting reestablished. So I have sunflowers there, over there, in the back, right here. And I just don't believe in coincidence. So I sit out here and I'm just so grateful. It just brings such joy to my heart to see them. The red crimson clover is growing, which I'm always happy to see that. I'm going to use that as ground cover, and then hopefully the wild sunflowers will reseed themselves. I'll come out here and take some dried seed and kind of just sprinkle it around, and then I will hopefully get to plant more next year. We have a lot of prickly pear out here. Here's one little family. I have found out how to harvest them. I'm not sure that I'm going to, but I do want to do one. I want to try it. I've never had prickly pear. And some of these, I'm looking for them now. Some of these prickly pear cactus have blossoms on top, which it's very different, but it's very pretty. These did have some blossoms on them up here. That looks like they've already dried up and gone. I may have been too late because I haven't found any yet. Wait a minute, maybe I spoke too soon. here we go. I'm not sure if that one's on the verge of drying up or getting ready to blossom. It feels a little moist. But yeah, these are edible. It's hard to believe. So I hope that turned out well after all. The sun is really bright out here today. I should have gotten out earlier in the morning when it's not so bad, but the winds are up, humidity's low. It's warm out, so we'll just have to see what happens, think for the best. And this is Kris's first visit out here. We are so happy and excited he's here. But I did want to ask him because this time last year, this was still nothing but raw land. By this time last year, of course, the road was in, the septic was in, but that was it, wasn't it, Dean? That was it. And so now we have a home, we have gardens, we have a couple outbuildings. And is it what you expected?
So what I expected, I mean, I really didn't have too much what to expect. I had sort of a visual idea of kind of what it was going to be just based on looking at the videos, and seeing it come to life is a different thing. The house is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. The property's great. Yeah, no, I think this is a great spot. I'm excited to hear that you're going to clear this part out and get a clear shot of the mountains. I think that's going to be good. And I think once you guys get all the functional stuff set up, then it's going to be moving on to the making it more, not that you're not making it a home now, but there'll be opportunity to kind of put those touches on it.
And
later.
By functional, what things are we talking about specifically?
Well, food, right? The garden, the water pump, the sheds, right? All things to kind of make this property and the homesteading, when I say functional, allow you guys to survive here, right? That's kind of the definition of homesteading. But once you get all that set up, then you'll be free to make it more of a home than just a homestead.
Well, I was teasing because I thought for sure when he's talking about functional that he was going to be talking about our shower situation, because right now we still
it's non-existent.
Right, we're taking baths and we wash our hair over top of the bathtub, but that is okay, because that is one of the things that I said I would be forever grateful for when we moved out of the camper, is to be able to bathe and not have to have interrupted water because you have a limited tank when you're camping in a camper. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. That's what another week's worth of growth looks like up here on the homestead. I thank you for stopping by. We're always glad to see you. And until next time, take care.
See ya.